Hi, this is Darko, and next to me LG's UltraWide monitor 34UC99. LG is calling this type of monitors ultra-wide and is offering them in 4 screen sizes: 25, 29, 34 and 38 inches. Over the last couple of years, LG has released a bunch of these super wide monitors, and the reason is clear. They are excellent for both productivity and for gaming. Even CinemaScope movies, like this one, look amazing since there are no black bars above and below the picture. On the other hand, 16:9 content will have black bars on the left and right, and this includes Academy Flat movies, games that don't support 21:9, and so on. Let's talk a bit about the specs. So we get a 34-inch 21:9 screen that is slightly curved and is based on IPS technology. IPS means lower contrast than TN or VA, but in return you get clearer colors and more consistent picture under angle. Native resolution is 3440 by 1440 pixels that can refresh themselves up to 75 times per second. Response time is 5 milliseconds, typical for IPS panels. Monitor supports AMD Freesync technology to reduce staring in games via both HDMI and DisplayPort. What do you think about the design of this monitor? Personally, I like it very much. It's a combination of matte silver and glossy white, which looks quite nice. I like the fact that color coordination is much better than, for example, on monitors with white bezels, which is more distracting. Of course, LG did not forget about ergonomics of this monitor. It has height adjustable stand and you can also tilt it. Swiveling is not possible, but for me this is not a mandatory function, unless you often want to show your screen to a colleague in the office. If you followed LG's monitors and TVs in recent years, you will find stand design very familiar. Due to its shape, it is called crescent and it has brushed aluminum texture, although all outer surfaces are made of plastic. You can install it to the screen without any tools, but this leads to a trade-off in stability. It does wobble a bit if you push it just a little. As far as connection options go, you get 2 HDMIs, 1 DisplayPort, 1 USB Type-C and 2 standard USBs 3.0. The most interesting port is definitely USB Type-C, as it works as a video input and it brings functionality of data transfer and quick charging to Type-A USBs. Monitor has down-firing stereo speakers, 7 watts per channel. As usual for built-in speakers in practically all monitors, they produce very thin and uninteresting sound, so you should use them only if you don't have any other choice. Monitor has on-screen menus which you activate by pressing button underneath LG's logo, so here you have quick menu with power off, input, game and menu. And then by going left, right, up or down, you activate additional menus. This is main menu with quick settings, input, picture, sound and general, and as you can see reaction is instant, so you can quickly change picture mode and exit menu in a matter of seconds. Game mode is activated by opening this menu and going down, so here you have different game modes. And to go back to this calibrated mode, which I adjusted, as you can see, it's really quick. Now let's talk about picture quality. I did display evaluation using Spectra Kalman calibration software. According to a piece of paper that I found inside the box, monitor is factory calibrated. But just as before, nowhere is mentioned which picture preset is actually calibrated out of the box. But according to my measurement using Kalman software, it seems to be the one named Custom. This preset is activated by default, which is great. No need to touch any menus to get the most accurate colors out of this monitor. Still, as always, there is room for improvement. Default picture is way too bright for most environments. You can easily adjust this by going to menus and reducing brightness control. By default it is maxed out and this gives around 330 nits. If you reduce it all the way to 0, you will get around 60 nits. I usually aim between 120 and 180 nits, so I set it to 40. Unfortunately, there is no built-in light sensor that would automatically adjust brightness of the screen depending on lighting conditions. What else I've noticed is that gamma was not perfectly adjusted, so details in shadows were hidden. This beautiful wallpaper is a great test to see this. Just take a look at tree trunks as I'm switching between calibrated and default picture. So this is calibrated and this is default. You can actually see trees' texture when picture is calibrated compared to pure black areas by default. Regarding colors, Color Checker error tests revealed average delta E 2000 error of 4.35, with biggest errors coming from grayscale, but also from colors, in particular red, which was oversaturated. After calibration, average error was reduced down to 0.51, with all colors appearing natural and ideally saturated. Again, back to this beautiful wallpaper. You can see how red leaves look less aggressive and how overall image with mist surrounding the trees becomes more apparent after calibration. So again, I will switch, calibrated, uncalibrated. Yeah, big difference. Screen uniformity was good but not perfect, as there was light bleed on all 4 edges on my unit. Contrast that is just about 800 to 1 sounds worse than it actually is. Most of the time you will watch full screen content, so you will rarely notice this. More important is that screen doesn't suffer from dirty screen effect and that picture does not get too blurry in motion, which is the case with this monitor. As with other monitors based on IPS panel, I saw IPS glow effect that was visible under angle and especially on black background. Motion resolution is typical for a 60Hz panel, reaching around 300 lines up to 1080 on the monoscope test. What is good with IPS technology is that amount of blur is not greatly increased in darker scenes, something that is quite troublesome for LCDs VA panels. Now let's talk about the actual experience using this monitor. As I said right at the beginning, for me super wide 1440p monitors are just perfect for both productivity and for gaming. Instead of having 2 monitors that will always be separated with no matter how ultra narrow the bezel is, here you get really large real estate that is great for having 2 or even 3 windows next to each other. Windows 10 offer basic Windows management, so you can have 2 windows next to each other really easily. So for example, I have this video here, I just drag it to the left corner and then I select which window I want on the right. And this works really easy and quickly. For example, I can open certain tabs and put it on the other screen, reduce, enlarge, and so on. Really simple process. If you want more options about splitting the screen, I recommend LG's Screen Split application that you can download for free. One thing I really find amazing on ultrawide monitors is Google Maps. So you have this incredible overview of whichever area you're watching, and if you switch to satellite view, it's just amazing the amount of details on the screen. And if I press Control and then left mouse button, you get this incredible overview of town with buildings, with everything. And yeah, you just need strong enough computer and fast enough internet to download everything. but it's truly amazing. Same goes for video editing, so in whichever program you're having timeline, whether it is video or audio editing, you have this great overview and you can more easily adjust whatever you're doing without the need to constantly zoom in and zoom out. Playing games on ultra-wide monitor and with this resolution is just amazing. Of course you need strong computer to run games smoothly, but if you have good enough hardware, or if you play older games, for example, I play Diablo 3, which is not the latest game for sure, you will get good enough frame rate on this resolution. If game doesn't support ultra-wide resolution, still you will get original aspect ratio, but of course with black bars left and right of the picture. Regarding input lag, it's around 10 milliseconds in custom mode, which is activated by default, and in game presets it's around 10 milliseconds, so 1 millisecond lower. Great result, really fast response, and even hardcore gamers should not complain about this result. So to conclude, LG 39UC99 is an excellent ultra-wide monitor that I highly recommend. I see it as a great choice for those who use monitor for work, whether this work involves writing, video or audio editing, working with photos, and so on. For gamers, this will be a solid choice as well, especially if you have hardware strong enough to run games smoothly on such high resolution. If not, there are cheaper 34-inch monitors with 1080p resolution that have less sharp image, but this is more of an issue for productivity than for gaming. Finally, I would like to thank to LG's office in Croatia for providing me this review sample. Thank you very much. And to all of you, thanks for watching. If you have some questions or comments, please leave them in area below. Don't forget to like, and see you in some other video. Bye!